What's cracking, mates? Welcome to another episode with T to the L to the T. I remain your special host. Sit tight, relax, and enjoy today's talk. What up? So you guys know you would have to share this link with everyone, your friends, your families, your loved ones, your enemies, because what? You can't just be enjoying this alone. So today's topic is actually a very interesting one, and it's actually going to be in parts, if I'm not mistaken, like part one, part two, part three. I don't know how long it's going to be, but I'm sure it's going to be in parts. So today we'll be talking about premarital sex. Yeah, we're talking about premarital sex. So let's get started into today's topic. Yeah, so we'll be talking about premarital sex, and trust me, oh my, this topic is one big topic that everyone don't want to go into it, because one way or the other we feel like it's something we are not supposed to talk about because it's already a normal thing. Now that's what we are talking about today: premarital sex. Why is it a normal thing amongst us, amongst our generation? In fact, everywhere you go, everywhere in the world, premarital sex is normal. I talk about premarital sex and people start hailing me that, oh yeah, you did it. It's crazy out there. You talk about premarital sex that, oh, I went out with my boyfriend last weekend, we had sex, we did this, we did that, and people begin to hail you and be like, oh, you did something great. When did we start all this? It's okay to be a woke generation, but then it's another thing to, mold God's standard to your own interesting aspects, to suit yourself. Yeah, I would say that, because you guys already know it's God's standard or nothing here on what's cracking, because this is not a regular podcast. So as a Christian, premarital sex is not a normal thing. Don't allow anybody deceive you, whether scientifically, whether wokenessly, that if there's any word like that. Do not allow anyone deceive you. Premarital sex is not a normal thing. Now, what is premarital sex? Premarital sex is when you have sex with someone. Well, consensual sex, intercourse between two people before marriage. They are not married and they're having sex. Now, when I defined this, I didn't make mention of, when you have sex with someone that you are not married to yet, but you are going to get married. Like, there's no clause. It's either you are married or not. If you're filling a form, it's either single or married. So there's something like about to be married, very sure I'm getting married, very certain I'm getting married, 100% sure that we are getting married. I'm saying this because you talk to people about premarital sex and they tell you, I'm having sex with someone I know I'm going to get married to. What if you don't get married to the person? You see, it's a whole lot when we talk about why is premarital sex not a normal thing. Why should I not engage myself in premarital sex? Why shouldn't it be a normal thing for me to do? Now, this is it. Apart from the fact that you could actually contract sexual transmitted diseases, I know you guys are going to come up with the fact that, why don't you try to practice safe sex? There's something called safe sex. Hello, yeah. I know there's something called safe sex. Use the condoms, contraceptives. Those were, designed for the married people. I'm married, I don't want to have kids now, I use contraceptives. I'm married, I don't want to have kids now, rather I use condom, and it's a norm. But because premarital sex is now a norm, we already think that contraceptives is for you that you are not married. If you can't abstain, use contraceptives. Hello. You better just abstain. If you are in this kingdom with us, it's better you just abstain. I know there are people that say, oh, I'm a child of God too, and it's just premarital sex. This thing is in the Bible. It's like you going to the embassy for your interview. They already tell you this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't do, this is what you should bring, and this is what you shouldn't bring. Now, because you are going with the number one rule, why don't you say, oh, it's just number two now, it's just this small one, I can take it in or something? No, you abide by all the rules. So why is it difficult for us to abide by all the rules, all the instructions given to us in the Bible? It's not like they're forcing you not to do it. It's not like they're forcing you to do it, but then you claim, oh, God's standard is my standard, I love him, blah 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 blah. But then this one thing, You support people on it that yes, it's a normal thing. I mean, kudos to. Did I just say kudos? I mean, not kudos to the movie world. It's every movie shows you that premarital sex is fine. And then someone comes up and tell you, how do you show your partner that you love your partner? Hello? Who gave us the standard that premarital sex is the only way to tell your partner that you love your partner? I didn't get that. Oh, sorry. Oh, nobody. Oh, right. I thought as much. So, if that's the case, so why are we saying that premarital sex is norm? It's the way of showing that I love my partner. Yes, I love my partner so much. If I don't have sex with my partner, how will he or she know that I love? Come on, there are other things you can do, intimate. And when I say other things, I don't mean engaging in oral sex. I mean, as a Christian, you already know you're not to fornicate, and then there are some little things that, kind of lead you to this fornication, and you don't want to do it because you don't want to fornicate. You are not to do it. So, my point of view is premarital sex is not a normal thing. I mean, I feel the Christian world should actually, take over the movie world, so we know that some things are not just normal. It's not normal for you to go on a date and have sex with the person. If that's the way the world works, do you know how many people you'd have had sex with? I mean, you have to date 10 people before you get married, and you want to have sex with all these things. And then you claim, my body is the temple of the Lord. I'm not here to judge anybody, no judgment at all, but I'm just here to tell you that premarital sex is not a normal thing. Think of it as a way that you're a child of God. Your body is the temple of the Most High. You see those money you would rather buy and spend on contraceptive, invest them in cryptocurrency. I mean, there's no harm in that, right? Invest them in crypto, invest them in real estate. So I know you guys say, oh, the bill for contraceptive is not that, contraceptive pills are not that expensive. What I'm trying to say is that instead of spending money on something that you shouldn't do, don't do it. Now pick that money and spend it on something else. So basically, I feel we should start sensitizing everybody. Whether you're on social media, anywhere you are, you see a quote or a tweet or a message or something that talks about, or an article that talks about premarital sex, and people are like, oh, why didn't you give him this position? Why didn't you give her this position? Why didn't I give? Like, people are making it look like, oh, you did something great and you deserve an award. Hello. It's either you go there and mention it to them that it's actually not normal. We shouldn't encourage this. Or you just, let me say it the way they say, lock up. How do you even have sex on Friday and you go to church and lift up your holy hands? Oh, wow. Wokeness. That's what they call it. Like I said, no judgment at all. It doesn't mean that if you've had premarital sex before, you are not going to heaven. Nope. What it means is that you would have to change your ways. What it means is that you have to make that decision that yes, premarital sex is not a normal thing. You wake up in the morning, tell yourself premarital sex is not a normal thing. I'm free from fornication. So when you see that fornication coming, you flee. I mean, Joseph had the right to sleep with Potiphar's wife. If it were to be in this generation, oh wow, that's like jackpot. But he did what? He flee. Apart from sinning against God and his body, he couldn't even sin against his master. So it's way. We are still going to come to adultery. That's another topic on its own, not even part of this episode we're talking about. But then, my point basically, once again, is to tell you that premarital sex is not the right thing to do. It is not a normal thing. It's not something you should engage yourself in. Do not engage in premarital sex. Do not engage in premarital sex. Free yourself from premarital sex. Unwanted pregnancy. Premarital sex leads to that, and then from there it leads you to abortion. When they tell you that when you tell someone one lie, you have to use like 10,000 or 10 million lies to cover up that one lie. Where premarital sex is, you say, oh, I just want to do it because I love him, and then from there it keeps expanding your life. It keeps expanding your sinful path. It keeps taking you towards the path that you're not supposed to be. You're a young girl, you're having sugar daddy. You're a young guy and you're having sugar mommy. You're a young guy, you have a girlfriend. Oh, I'm faithful to my girlfriend. It's just my girlfriend, and yes, I can have sex with her because I'm getting married to her. Okay, if you had waited till marriage, it's not like your bank account is going to reduce, and it's not like you're going to love her less or she's going to love you less. I mean, no disrespect, but then we shouldn't even condone this premarital sex amongst our friends. Like, you should be bold enough to tell your friends, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. It's wrong. Now, that's the way we try to, curb this thing and tell the oncoming generation that this thing is not normal. You see a 16-year-old, 15-year-old, 14-year-old, talking to you about sex. Oh, my experience with sex. I had sex with my boyfriend last night. It was amazing. And I'm like, oh, wow. That was amazing. At that age. No judgment, but trust me, it shouldn't be at all. It shouldn't be. It is not normal. It is abnormal for us to think that premarital sex is a normal thing amongst everybody. So do not allow anybody cajole you. There are lies. Someone tells you, oh, as a virgin, your sexual life is going to be boring. Lies from the pit of hell. Someone tells you, who told you that people want virgins? Lies from the pit of hell. Someone tells you, do you think that because you're a virgin is going to love you more? Lies from the pit of hell. Whether I loved you more, whether I loved you less, that is not your concern. Your concern is God's standard says that premarital sex is wrong. And yes, it is wrong. I wouldn't do it. I will not engage myself in that. So basically, it's just, if you look at the Bible, the instruction is just trying to even save us from a lot of stress. You break up and then you're thinking, oh God, he used me. If you never had sex, there's nothing like he used you. You definitely just go over it and be like, good riddance to bad rubbish. Yep. So why do we give ourselves emotional trauma? And then it's like the instructions already know that this is what is going to happen. You have sex and then you are going to the clinic all the time to make sure that you are clean. You don't have any sexually transmitted diseases, gonorrhea and likes like that. You have sex and you are scared that, when is my period coming? You had sex before marriage and you as a guy, you are scared that, oh God, my girlfriend has not called me that she's on her period. I might be becoming a father soon. I don't have this energy. I don't do this. You have sex and then you are worried, wow, I'm pregnant. What do I do? Come on. You should be married. Without court wedding, engagement, get married before you have the sex. Please. Like I said, no judgment. It's not like I'm being judgmental about this whole issue here. I'm just trying to let you know that this is not normal. So we try to tell people around us, the upcoming generation, that this is not normal. Whether you're seeing it in movies, it is not normal. Whether you're hearing it, whether you're seeing it on all social media accounts, social media platforms rather, it is not normal. It's not a normal thing. You are not supposed to, involve yourself in something like premarital sex. Having said that, doesn't mean you should go ahead and start doing oral sex because there's no intercourse, there's no penetration. Say I'm not having sex. Hello, Irumburu. You're practically doing the same thing. So you shouldn't just say, because it says penetration. Then there's some virgins that, when I say virgin, is because there is no penetration, both guy and a girl. But what they have done let the Lord be with everybody. I know, people might not really like this episode, but then it is what it is. And trust me, this is not a regular podcast, like I said. So I'm sure you might not like it, but please try to be nice about it. Anyways, thank you for staying tuned to the end of today's episode. Please don't forget to share. I hope you enjoyed it. Till I come your way again next week, don't forget to share this link once again with your friends, families, and follow this podcast on every social media platform. On Instagram, we are at Real Talk with Talks. And on YouTube, we are T.O.T Fam. I love you guys. Even after what I said, I still love you guys. Peace.